It took some time to get Tourby watches for review, but now I've got 6 watches, so this is the kickoff of my review series of Tourby watches, and I'm really glad that I can start with 2 absolutely gorgeous watches. These are the Lawless, as the owner pronounces these series, and these are 2 special models of the Lawless series, and I'm really glad that I'm able to do a review about these 2 watches. Hello and welcome to Watch Maxie's Watch Videos. My name's Axel and I'm glad to have you on the show. If not yet done, subscribe to my channel, activate the bell icon and you won't miss any of my future videos like the one I do today with the review of the absolutely great diverse watches from Tourby, the Lawless 42 Red Black Edition and the blue one with the 40mm diameter. We've got 2 really beautiful watches here. We've got 2 really beautiful watches here. We've got the blue Lawless with the 40mm diameter in the J and T version, and we have the 42mm black red edition of the Lawless series. Here we have got, as mentioned, a 40mm diameter and a thickness of 11.8mm. Lug to lug we have a span of 47 and the lug width is 20mm. The black red edition has a diameter of 42mm and a thickness of 13. Lug to lug I couldn't find, but I think this is around 50mm. The lug span is 22mm. They are pretty much different in weight. The blue one weighs without the strap 72 gram and the strap, which tapers down from 20 to 18mm, including the strap, the watch weighs 148 grams. The 42mm version is pretty much heavier. It's around 95 gram without the strap, and this is a really thick and heavy strap, and with that strap the watch comes up to 180 gram. Both watches have an AR coated sapphire crystal. The AR coating is on the inner side, and as the bezel as well as hands and markers are filled with Super Luminova BGW9. Both watches are powered by an ETA 2824-2, adjusted in 5 different positions to guarantee the best possible accuracy. The blue one has a water resistance of 20 bar, equaling 200 meter, and the 42mm version has a water resistance of 500 meter. Let's see how these watches sit on my wrist. For that I have to take off my circular Aquasport. And let's start with the 42mm version. And I think I already know that this is a watch which I can wear. However, it will be on the bigger side on my wrist. Yeah. So it sits well, it feels good. I like the massive Milanese strap, but it's on the bigger side. The 40mm version, I'm pretty sure, will be more of the size I like. Yeah, here we have it, and this is clearly a size which I would prefer over the 42mm. Both versions we've got here are special models. The 42mm one is the black red edition with the red top triangle and the red text on the dial with polished sides really nicely made, and a relatively thin coin-edged bezel, so you have a massive side and a tiny bezel, which gives the watch a real special look from the side. From the top view, it is a nice diver's watch. From the side view, it looks pretty special. The blue one is another special series. It's called JNT, and the JNT has a couple of deviations from the standard series. One is the top triangle in red, as well as a really small, tiny red tip on the second hand. But more important than that, the crown guard has been removed, and the standard crown has been replaced by a thicker, bigger crown, which gives the watch a real nice retro look, which I really like. So this is a really nice watch, which looks pretty great according to my perception. Here we have a direct comparison between the two watches, and looking at them from the side, we see the 42mm has a polished side, while the 40mm has a brushed side. And interestingly, the bezel of the 42mm is thinner compared to the 40mm. And personally, I think this view is more interesting because it is extraordinary, the thin bezel on the thick case. However, this is for me the more balanced approach with the slightly thicker bezel compared to the case. So there are pros and cons for both. This one is more interesting, this is more balanced. The quality of both is extraordinary and really, really high, absolutely great. And although I already have shown it, I would like again to draw your attention to the back, because this is a really, really great view with a deep engravement. Absolutely nice. Let's turn it around and see what it is. I would say it's Neptune, and it's absolutely, absolutely great. On the 40mm version, we have a similar motif here, and that's absolutely gorgeous and really, really, really nicely made. Let's have a look at the bracelet. This is the two-link bracelet, and I do like that there are two angles on the link, so it really comfortably bends around the wrist. That's really, really nice. I like it a lot. It's brushed and comfortable to wear. The clasp is a solid clasp, as you can see, with a solid folding mechanism, two pusher system to open, and a diver's extension, which can be step by step pushed into the clasp to adjust the length when needed. The disadvantage is that it disturbs the design and the optic when pulled out, but it's quick and easy even with the strap on the wrist. What looks like bubbles here is the plastic foil, which I didn't remove for this review. This is the bracelet, well made and perfectly fitting. The Milanese on the 42mm version is a fat and massive strap with many fine adjustments, which I really appreciate. And what I do like is the fact that the strap disappears in the clasp with two little keepers, which prevent the clasp and the strap to flip open, so it's closed even if the strap is pushed into the clasp. Really well made. However, the clasp itself is a really big and long clasp, If we put it here and compare it to the other one, which already is a big one with the diver's extension, you can see that this is really, really, really a big and long clasp. So there is no free lunch. If you need the fine adjustments here on both sides actually, then you need the space in the clasp. So you have to decide which way to go. Personally, I probably would go for this one, although this is nice and easy to use, but I don't like the optic of these, so I never used it. I would just take it as this, particularly since you have another 3 holes for a fine adjustment in this part here. Let's have a closer look to the watch. It's applied indices, it's not printed, it's applied, really well made. You have different sectors on the minute and hour hand, nicely made, I love it. The Tourby logo is not too big, doesn't disturb the dial. The side of the watch is polished, looks great, while the upper side of the horns is brushed. So this gives the watch a really classy appearance. It's the standard case with the crown guards, and the, compared to the J&T version, smaller crown, but still big enough to operate it even with gloves on. I personally like the blue one more. One, because of the color, and second, because of the case finish and case shape. I like the brushed side and the polished beveled edge here around the watch. The brushed horns matching the strap, and the special case with the removed crown guards and the big oversized crown. I really like it. So this would be the watch I would go for if I had to choose one. Let's talk prices. The 42mm black-red version currently retails at €1,400 on the steel bracelet and €1,250 on the rubber strap. As of April 1st, 2021, the standard movement will no longer be available, but only the top-grade chronometer version at an additional charge of €200. There are a lot of other customization options, decorated movements, full decoration, hand decoration, partial decoration, and so on and so forth. So please check out the website to make sure you really get the watch you want and you get the customization level you desire. The blue version, which we've got here, is slightly more expensive. This one currently retails at €1,800 with the special case without crown guards. The black version costs €1,600 on the steel bracelet. And like the 42mm version here, the standard movement will only be offered until March 31st next year. After that date, there will be only the top-grade chronometer version. And like with the other watch, we have tons of customization. Please check out the website, see what's possible. It is gorgeous what Tourby offers for these watches and all of their watches from their portfolio. Amazing. Now let's have a look at the watches at night, and please keep in mind the position of the watches, the 40mm on the right side and the 42 on the left. Switch off video light number 1, switch off video light number 2, and we have the small one on the right side and the big one on the left side. So here we see the really, really nice luminescent bezel of the 40mm version, while the 42mm has the control dot at the 12 o'clock position, and the 42mm has the full luminescent bezel all around. So it's a a really great watch with a fantastic view. Both watches have a great readability at night. This one has the more exciting appearance, while this one is cleaner, more focused to reading the time, and this is more of an eye-catcher, I would say. Thank you very much for watching my video. Please leave your comment what you like, what you dislike, and what you think about these two watches. Look forward to the next Tourby videos to come. Cheers, Axel.